Good morning, everybody. I don't usually do this kind of thing, but I woke up this morning and did my usual, read my Bible over breakfast, and there was a verse that stuck out to me. I was reading Mark chapter 5, and the verse was only 5 words, part of a verse. The story is Jesus is walking around. Someone comes and says, "My daughter is dying, come and help me." So he's on his way to go and heal the daughter that's sick, heal the girl. And while he's on his way, all the crowds start gathering around him and pressing on him really close to see what's going to happen. They get all excited. Oh, sorry, that's sun. And a woman with an issue of blood for 12 years says to herself, "If I reach out and touch his garments, I will be made whole." So she reaches out, touches his garments, and immediately it says the fountain of blood within her dried up immediately. And she felt the healing inside of herself. Jesus perceived that power had come out from him, so he turns around and says, "Hey guys, who touched me?" And his disciples think he's crazy because there's people around him everywhere touching him, trying to get to him. And his disciples say, "God, Jesus, you're crazy. People are everywhere." And then the woman who got healed from touching him comes forth and tells him what happened. And he says, "Woman, your faith has made you well. Go in peace." And then, just after that, the ruler of the synagogue comes and tells Jesus, "The daughter that you were coming to pray for, the girl that you were coming to pray for is dead. So don't worry about it. Go home," essentially. He doesn't say go home, but... And so Jesus says these 5 words that stuck out to me. Don't be afraid, only believe. And as soon as I read those words, this whole COVID-19 thing started coming back to my mind. And in some parts of the world, people are going crazy. People are super fearful. I've had numerous conversations with people they've got that what if question going on, and if you hear that what if question a lot, that's coming from a place of fear, usually. Not all the time, but usually. Elsewhere in the Bible, it's in the New Testament somewhere, I think Paul said it, so that doesn't really narrow it down. But Paul says, "Be anxious for nothing, but instead give thanks and praise and pray about everything." I think it might even be Colossians 3:15, I'm not sure. But be anxious for nothing, but instead pray about everything. And Jesus in Mark 5 says, "Do not be afraid, only believe." So what do we believe? That is the question. If you don't really have an answer that comes to your mind, I would suggest focus on God's promises. Believe on God's promises. Take God at his word. Believe and trust that he is the God that he says he is in his word. Numerous times in his word he promises protection. In Psalm 91, the woman I'm dating reminded me of Psalm 91 recently. How it's all about protection. There are other things in there as well, but Psalm 91's a good one if you want to develop a mindset and a focus that is positive and not full of fear, that is confident in God's promises. Isaiah 61 is another really good chapter. Isaiah 30 verse 18, that's one of my favorite verses. It says, "Blessed are those who wait upon the Lord." Blessed are those who wait upon the Lord. In places like Australia and Canada and America and other materialistically rich countries, we don't really know how to wait. Waiting is it's become a foreign thing to us, and it's because of technology mainly. There are other things, but mainly because of phones and iPads and things like that. Everything is instant gratification. Everything is here, now. And if we can't get it now, then we think it's too hard and we think it's not worth waiting for. My dad, he always used to say this thing when I was growing up, and he said, if it's easy to do, then it's not worth doing. All the things that are worth doing are usually pretty hard. And that includes patience. So, body of Christ, we need to learn to wait more. Wait on God. If you're worried, sure, tell Him, God, I'm worried. Get that burden off your chest. But make sure it's coupled with thanks. It's really hard to be fearful when you're thankful for things. God, I thank you for the clouds. I thank you for blue sky. I thank you for this lovely temperature. I thank you for the greenery everywhere, for the trees, for the wind. I thank you for silence. I thank you that when I wake up in the morning, I hear birds singing. I thank you for worship. I thank you for the job that I have. I thank you for my family. And soon enough, you forget what you're worrying about. So I'm going to leave that there. And I'll leave you with those 5 words. Don't be afraid. Only believe. And a song, Ain't No Grave, by Bethel or by Cageless Birds. Okay, I don't want to be illegal, so I'm going to wait. I'm not going to press the stop button while I'm driving. Looking for somewhere to pull over. You can stop watching now. I'm literally just going to pull over on the side of the road and hit the stop button. Do not be afraid, only believe.